become quite considering.
I was gonna say, should we just put a plush?
What are you doing, you fucking human pretzel? Hey, welcome everybody to the SideQuest live from PAX East. Look at us. 1, 2, 3, 4. I had to count 5 of us here at PAX East, sitting inside the beautiful lounge of the Boston Hyatt.
I think they call it the Lighthouse.
The Lighthouse Seaport. Sorry, we just doxed ourselves. I'm sorry. Fresh back from the SideQuesting PAX GPT party, which was a resounding success. Flop. Inside, you had to be there. It was a great musical performance.
We weren't there.
They weren't there. Only
Yeah.
I am Dolly Domofsky. Let's go around the table. That would be.
Oh, cool. I'm Sam Dixon.
You recognize him as Cat?
Oh, yeah,
you are actually a
on this
cat.
Podcast.
Yeah. First long time listener, first time caller, Sam Dixon.
Taylor Bliss.
JJ.
SideQuest.
Excellent. Probably have to speak up a little bit more.
SideQuest,
motherfuckers. Day 1 of PAX is complete. We'll start off with our panel real quick. Panel was really good. Had a lot of fun. 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
8 as in ATE.
ATE.
Yep. It was a lot of fun. We had a great turnout.
Yeah.
And we all chatted about
Not the full auditorium it was last year.
correct, because there were actually other competing panels this year.
Yeah.
But
Still pretty cool.
But still pretty good.
so pretty good. I think we're like almost 3/4 full.
People like to just go to panels and hear people talk. I'm
For a change.
I'm pretty sure.
So it was a good time. It's on Twix.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/PAX3. It's archived on there. I will download it and throw it on the SideQuesting website as well and get it and drop it as a podcast. So, but in the meantime, let's talk about
people
the.
will be really thrilled
Yeah.
about us stealing your content.
Hey, we gave them content for free. Okay.
They gave us the passes.
They gave us the passes. Let's talk about the stuff that we saw on the show floor today. Who wants to go first? We saw a lot of things.
I can start if you want.
Go ahead.
Since I'm here first. I mean, I think the biggest thing I saw today was Mina the Howler. It's the
Ooh.
Shovel Knights guys follow-up game. The way I've been kind of describing it is it's basically like what if Castlevania was a GBA Zelda game instead.
Ooh, nice. Okay, I like that.
And like that's essentially what it is. I mean, they have like the candelabras can be smashed and get potions and stuff from it. You collect like sub weapons that you can like trade in and out and use. I didn't find it during my playthrough, but I was watching people that like had like a hook shot type thing that they could use as a weapon that also is like a movement ability. And then they also just by default you can tunnel under the ground, and that's for some of the puzzling stuff. Like they basically the demo didn't explain pretty much anything to you.
No, it's wide open.
And like there's just one part where it's like you kind of have to put together, oh, I've got to go pick up this like statue head and go throw it on that to like get through. And it just seems like it's got that like, that same sort of like NES, Super Nintendo, original Game Boy charm that like everything they've released has so far. And I mean, they also had like Pocket Dungeon and all that stuff on the show floor, but really that was I think the biggest thing that I played today.
Cool.
Yeah, I also I did that during media hour, and I was chatting with the guy heading up there a little bit. So they give you 15 minutes. It's just a raw timed.
Okay.
And it's basically the intro to, and then the contents of a small dungeon. Like what a Zelda dungeon would be on NES, SNES era. And so they give you 15 minutes. He said that they expect an average, probably the first time playthrough would be about an hour. The fastest anyone, or at least that he had seen, like for internal to Yacht Club, was 8 minutes.
Wow. Shit.
And
To get through just the demo or the whole game?
yeah, to get through like what is in that build.
In that build.
That they're only giving people 15 minutes that they expect would take an hour your first time through. They have beaten it in 8 minutes, which is I don't know, it's just that kind of game, and which obviously was always exciting because speed running on that kind of stuff is a lot of fun. But the other thing is that a bunch of the weapons are new because it's not just the whip that's what we've seen so far. They also added in a hammer weapon and dagger weapons, which are new to the build that are here.
Oh, awesome.
So that's obviously I played
Yeah,
that.
because when I saw it at West, that stuff was.
That's what they've been working on, and it's probably not coming out in 2023.
Probably not. Yeah.
That was from the horse's mouth. They're like, we had to put it on the Kickstarter because Kickstarter wouldn't let us put it any further out than that, but it's probably not happening. And then went to Necrodancer, which was the Rift of the Necrodancer, and that sure rules.
It ruled. Okay, tell me about this game.
Really
So-
I'm curious about this.
So it's a rhythm game, typical to the Necrodancer series. All the notes come down on
A highway.
on a highway. I guess. I mean, is that the official term?
That's like Guitar Hero
Yeah, I was
stuff.
gonna
It's
say
no
that.
highway.
They call it the
The
highway.
nomenclature.
But it's 3 lanes. But in your much like how Necrodancer does it, you're fighting enemies, and so it's just arrow keys, and then the down arrow hits all 3 notes simultaneously, and then different enemies. We saw 4 different kinds of enemies, and then on top of that, enemies have different levels. So the default was blue, and then green, and then gold.
Yeah.
And there was some variation in there depending on the enemy, like skeletons are white and then gold and what, etc. But anyway, what happens is that the higher up they are, the more hits that they take to kill. But each enemy also has a unique
Attack
pattern.
Beat pattern.
And so the first time you hit a bat, it moves one direction in the direction that is pointing.
Are you gonna do that during your
No, I'm not.
We're just testing
Sorry,
the
making
audio.
sure.
Classic testing the audio live. And so the bats always move in the direction that they're facing. So you hit a bat once, it moves over to that direction. And then the bat levels up, and then it moves 2 directions, except a certain color will then move one direction and then come back the other direction. And so there's a lot of possibilities.
And there's slimes that get hit 3 times in a row.
But they never move.
And they don't move. Skeletons, you hit them, they'll fly back. And so it's really fun. Throwing in bats, slimes, skeletons is
And then your first time through, your brain is not keeping up, and the second time through, your brain is still not keeping up. But you're starting to imagine a world where it could, because at the end of the day, if you're hitting all the notes, it's always going to come at the same spot. So you're going to still be able to memorize in the way that you can other rhythm games. And it just makes it for a really interesting way to piece it together.
Yeah.
Then it turns into a rhythm heaven game where you're doing yoga.
And then all of a sudden,
It's
you're
yoga
with an instructor, and she wanted
Tech
to.
people.
Oh yeah. And then
Welcome to our show.
yeah, right. It's really good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. It's just a rhythm heaven thing with yoga and tying it to the instructor, and then it's
Hey, this is Colton cleaning.
Oh, it's
Okay.
closing? All right. Looks like we're closing up here.
Yeah.
So we gotta go quick, in other words. All right. I played.
Just gonna blast through this. We're actually gonna see this.
Yeah. I played Angerfoot from Devolver Digital, which is pretty wild because it's essentially you're just running through a building at Mach speed, and you're kicking things.
It's first-person shooter Hotline Miami.
First-person shooter Hotline Miami. Yes. Did you get a chance to play it?
No, I played
it's
the demo
cool.
for the Steam Fest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so I'm not sure if the demo
makes
is
this-
different than what they're showing
Maybe
here.
so. You're going into this building and you start off by just kicking doors open. You kick a door and it kills an enemy. And then of course it's still early alpha build, all that kind of stuff. And then at some point you can find a gun, a shotgun, and start using some of those things. But it's amazing just how quickly you're bouncing around the building. And it's sort of a roguelike in a weird way because you die and you restart and you can upgrade stuff. But that's really, really awesome to take a look at. And then I played Trinity. We're checking to see if
I know
we're
we're probably gonna have to go after
We're
Yes.
probably just gonna have to
Yeah.
part 2.
Trinity Fusion, which was a blast. The Brawlout team developed it, And so they took their platforming that they learned from the Brawl Out and turned it into an actual platformer, like the fighting aspects turned into a platformer. We're all
Extremely
Yeah, we're-
approachable.
And we're good, guys. We're good.
We're not
Yes,
good.
we're not
We're
good.
really bad.
Yeah,
We're
we gotta go.
talking on the phone. It's
All right, we'll be back in a minute.
My friends-
We'll be back. Pause.